changing lives.
Hello, good evening. My name is Evie and I welcome you to the studios of Hope TV Real Talk. We have another interesting story for you on Real Talk today from a young lady who has been dating for 2 years now, planning to get married hopefully next year or early next year, if I should say. But they have some issues. Her boyfriend is not understanding her. She feels like, well, you asked me a question and I gave you an answer. I could go on and on and on, but I wouldn't do that because I'll show you our story shortly. We are back here in the studios with amazing panelists. You know how we do it on Real Talk. We say it as it is. We try to come to you with amazing stories from amazing people like you out there, just as this lady who sent it to us on our WhatsApp or email address. So I would encourage you guys to share your story, whatever you're going through, regardless, marriage, career, kids, whatever you're going through, any issue at all, please do not keep it in you. Share, and we'll find you amazing panelists to discuss and hopefully give you some solution at the end of the day. And that's exactly what we have done today. We went far and near in Ghana, outside Ghana. And so I'll take this opportunity as well to greet all our amazing audience viewers all over the world. Ghana, the States, UK, Kenya, Zambia, what have you. Hope TV is all over the world. So I'd encourage you to tune in and enjoy not just Real Talk, but our other content as well. I'll introduce my amazing panelists to you in the studio and virtually. So please welcome my amazing panelists. I have with me Emmanuel. Emmanuel, welcome to Real Talk.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
I'm well.
How has your week been? I mean, it's midweek. We're hoping that Friday will come soon so that we can enjoy the weekend, right?
Yeah, it has been a very stressful week for me, but then
really?
I think all is well, so
all is well.
We just have to cope.
We thank God for life, don't we?
Sure.
And you have a very interesting something to tell us, which you would do before we end the show.
Sure.
So please stay tuned. Emmanuel has something special for you. Do not go anywhere. Make sure you listen before you leave Real Talk today. Anyale.
Hi.
I have with me Mrs. Angela Asai. Today I've mentioned your title.
Okay.
How are you? How are you?
I'm good.
How is the family?
We're all fine.
Thank you and welcome to Real Talk once
Thank
again.
You. Thank you.
Yes. And I have people joining me virtually as well. I have Christiana. If you can hear me, please say hi. She is joining me all the way from Sunyani. I think that is in the Bronx, Ahafo region. Right now they've changed it. They say Ahafo or what? Christiana, are you there?
Yes, the Bono region.
Oh, so you are in the Bono region.
Yes.
Welcome to Real Talk once again.
Thank you. Nice meeting you once again.
I know. How are you doing?
I've been good. Just missing you.
Oh, I miss you too. But you're here today, so I'm sure we'll catch up before we go. Welcome once again to Real Talk. And joining me all the way from the US of A, the state, New Jersey, I have Evans Amakon. Evans, if you can hear me, please say hi to myself and my wonderful viewers.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you guys doing?
We are very well, thank you. Is it evening at your end as well?
It's actually not, but it's just unfortunate I'm not really getting a bright light to a clear view. I do apologize for that.
No problem. We can see you just clear enough. How is America? How is New Jersey? How is COVID-19? And I'm sure winter is coming. How are you guys faring over there?
It's pretty amazing, you know, with everything going on. I know you guys know even better than even me here. Election and, you know, COVID surging, and also we are actually in the winter already, you know, it's really, really cold outside. So it's great. It's great. So far, so good.
So far, so good. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for coming on the show. Those of us in Ghana are waiting for Hamatan so that we will get our winter. So we'll take a look at our story. Do not go anywhere. This is Real Talk. We'll be right back. And my name is Evie. Dear Real Talk, my boyfriend and I have been dating for 2 years now and planning to get married early next year. We are gradually getting things ready for our marriage. He is completing a house for us to move into when we get married. Recently, he asked what I thought of him moving his 2 sisters and their family into 2 of the apartments on the same compound as our new home. I was honest with him and told him how I do not want to live with in-laws since it can cause a strain on our young marriage. I then suggested that he move them to their family home he just renovated. He accused me of trying to destroy his relationship with his sisters. I don't know why he asked for my opinion if he didn't want me to be honest. The issue is making our relationships difficult because we hardly talk now. Am I wrong for what I said? Why do I have to live with my in-laws on the same compound? Welcome back from that quick break to look at our story. I am sure you've heard this young lady is dating this man for 2 years now. In fact, they are planning on getting married. I'm sure they said early next year, so let me say the first quarter of the year. And they are getting things together. Thankfully, accommodation is sorted. One of the biggest chunk of your savings when it comes to planning on getting married is sorted. So that is great news. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. But he asked her opinion on if his family, his sisters can, with their family, can come and stay with them in this new apartment he's getting ready for them. And she says, oh, I mean, why should they come? I mean, they can live in the family home that you just renovated so that we can have our peace as newly married couples, young couples. You know, we can be free and not have family in our business. And he was upset because he felt, well, you're trying to come between my sister and I. They say when you marry someone, you marry the entire family. So if you are willing to live with me, why can you not live with my family as well? Does she have legit reasons to not want to live with her in-laws? And does he also have legit concerns to wonder why you wouldn't want to live with my family if you claim you love me? This is our story for us today. Our work is cut out for us. So we'll dive right into the discussion and then pick the minds of our panelists and see how the discussion will go today. Anyele, I'll come to you. You are married, so I'm just coming to you straight and ask you if you ever had any experience like that with regards to in-laws and moving in with them and, you know, all the...
Okay, so my mom had the same experience and I also did.
Okay.
And my mom didn't have problems. My grandparents weren't difficult.
Okay.
They are not in your business. They like to do things themselves. Even sometimes when my grandmother was there trying to help her with things, she wasn't really into that.
Okay.
It's like she wants to do her own thing. So, and then with my experience too, I didn't have any issue with my mother-in-law up until she passed away early this year.
Oh, so sorry for that.
Yeah. It depends on who. I mean, we're always painting the in-laws like the mother-in-laws especially. It's like the wicked stepmother.
Right.
So it's quite dicey, but ideally, I know for a fact that most of us wouldn't want that kind of experience, especially as women, knowing how we are. But I think that when it comes to certain situations, you need to adjust somehow. Yes, looking at the situation.
Right.
Because ideally I wouldn't have wanted to, but when I found myself in that situation, and especially when you have your own place, why would you want to go and rent out, put that kind of burden and all those things? So it's not that bad that like people paint it to be.
Right.
It's not that bad. But on the other hand,
which will come to the disadvantages of living with in-laws.
Yeah,
so Emmanuel, I'll come to you and ask you your general take on the story. And as a man who is obviously going to get married in the future and get a woman, is it something you would ever consider to have your wife live in your family home, or to have your family come to live in your home?
A very interesting story, because after reading the story, I had different views.
Okay.
I was just asking myself, why are they coming? For how long are they going to stay? Because some in-laws are very good, and some can frustrate your life.
Right.
Because from some previous examples I've seen with certain people, some went well, some didn't go well. So I think the positives and the negatives should be considered, because looking at the initial stages, they haven't even married yet, but look at the troubles which have started coming up already. So what if they marry and the guy is being influenced by his in-laws, his siblings?
You're right.
What is going to happen? It's not going to be a very good thing to talk about, and the relationship is not going to be healthy for the relationship. So I think we need to look at it well.
We should look at it well. The one says they should look at it well, which I completely agree. Evans, I'll come to you and then ask what are some of the disadvantages of living with in-laws? I mean, can they frustrate your life, as Emmanuel clearly said?
Yes, I think Emmanuel actually made a very good point. And I'll just even share my own little story. I got married, I think 2016, and my mom, has to come and live with us, beginning last year, simply because we were, actually moving from where I used to live to a different place, which there are not many, I would say, Ghanaians and maybe probably people that you know. So then we might need, someone who take off, I then had a little girl, and now I have two. So then we needed someone to, probably help us, because I'll be going to work. I go to work in New York City. My wife also works, just across, our place. But still, we would need someone to take care of the kids. So then, she even actually brought that up that why don't you let your mom come here and probably live with us, so she can take care of the baby. So that's just my little story. But let's just come back to the story. Um, it is really tough. Sometimes you might think it's just like that, and you just beginning life. Like, I mean, newly, married, so you kind of have that misconception that, hey, what if these guys are really coming into my business and potentially destroying what I've built for the past 2 years. So I think the lady was thinking about all those stuff, because the disadvantages, when you look at the disadvantages, you lose your privacy, and also potentially you get unsolicited advice from the people that are coming in. So then you be thinking about all this stuff. So potentially I'm not saying the lady should have make a different maybe opinion, but I technically think it's really tough and dicey situation that you need to assess and weigh the advantages and the disadvantages. If you like me, that I need someone to really come to my life, so potentially my kids will be taken care of, then you'll not be bothered. about such situation. But maybe this is not a situation. So then it becomes a little, tricky.
Right, right. Then it becomes tricky. Christine, I will come to you and ask, what are some of the disadvantages of living with in-laws, and even advantages in this case, if we should say, what are some of the advantages? Evans clearly mentioned that you get help with the kids and when you have to leave for work and all that. What is your opinion on that? Hello? Okay, I don't think Christiana can hear us, so I'll come to you, Angela, and I would ask, okay, first of all, you had a good experience, so I'm sure you have some great advantages to share with us. But on the flip side, what are some of the disadvantages? And also, what are the importance of privacy in a newly, like, a new relationship or newly married couples? What are some of them?
Okay, so the thing is that it's not all perfect. Let people understand that, because we all have our flaws, but it's not overly, I mean, things you can live with, because we have challenges even living with the spouse or even your siblings, parents. We have all those issues, so let's just clear that one. So it's not perfect, but the flip side is that you get some in-laws who forget that their sons are married, for instance. So the things that they used to do for them, like cook their food, probably wash their clothes, in fact, take care of them like mothers do, they forget that they are actually married now. So somebody else is going to do all these things for them, and then you cook and then there's a problem, and especially when it's a full house. It's not like everybody has their own place, so it's a full house, so you're sharing kitchens, you're sharing almost everything. So, oh, she doesn't wash well, she doesn't cook the food well, so you should come and eat with me, or and the men are not able to handle it well because they are caught in the middle.
Either you're choosing your family or you're choosing your wife.
And so, depending on how his relationship, either way, he will not win. He won't. Somebody will get offended.
Of course.
So like most of the time, it's like, oh, my wife should understand a bit more because maybe my mom is older or something. Or it depends on the thing. So a lot of women want to avoid these things. They don't even want to know if it will work or it won't work.
Okay.
That's the thing. So I guess that's the stance. But I also think that it's a matter of knowing the in-laws, how they deal with. But the other side is that you don't know somebody till you've actually lived with them.
Right.
Even our spouses, we don't know them till we actually get married and live with them. Then they find out, okay, he uses he presses the toothpaste from the middle, or he raises the toilet seat up
and does not put it down.
So those are things you deal with before dealing with your in-laws and all those. And some people, the importance of privacy, you need to build your home. So you don't want interference. You need, so that's why a lot of ladies would prefer that they don't, they are not living with their in-laws or in the same compound, even if it's different apartments or whatsoever. They want the privacy, because whatever you do, once they live in the house, to some extent, they will know what is going on. But when you live far away, you see yourselves once in a while.
Yeah.
So the privacy is important. It is.
Right.
Very important.
Very important.
I mean, if you can't have it, you should know how to also deal with it. It goes both ways.
Both ways. I don't know if Christiana is back on the line and if she can hear me, but we are still discussing our story, and I'll come to Emmanuel and then I'll take your opinion on the importance of privacy, in your opinion, for newly married couples. Because they say that I think the first and second year is still honeymoon phase. It's not that somebody's come to say, oh, but why do you hang the clothes from up to down and not down to up? And why are the pegs not colored? You know, everybody has a way of doing their things. And why do you cook with your napkin in your apron and all around your neck? Everybody has an opinion. So I would ask you the importance of privacy for newlyweds.
Privacy is needed. Privacy is needed because without privacy, you can't really plan your life and marriage well. You would, at a point in time, tell your wife, let's do this, let's do that. But at some other point in time, your wife or your husband will come and tell you, no, I think we have to do it this way because my mom will complain, my sister is doing this, my brother is doing this, so we have to change our decision. I think it's never going to help in whatever you have to do. And day in, day out, they are with you. You go, you come, whatever you do, they see them. So they will always try to interfere in whatever you do. So if the wife cooks today, the in-laws will be like, today your food is too salty. Why did you use this?
Why is she even cooking for the family? She's supposed to cook for the husband, if I'm not mistaken. Nobody should ask
No,
me,
I think you're right. I think you're right. I'm not cool with that kind of arrangement where you have to cook
Mano,
for
will you
the
be
whole.
cool for your wife to come to the home? You brought her to live with your family, but will you be cool that now she's cooking for the entire family? Or you would have an arrangement where she takes care of just your needs and then the family. But if it's a shared kitchen, she goes in there and they can have some of the food, but it's not her responsibility.
That is where the problem comes in.
Okay.
I believe you shouldn't even start. Because when you don't continue, it's an issue. But when they know this is the stance, that you won't cook for their home, everybody is aware. But when you start, then you get to a point and you are complaining, or I can't do it anymore. Hell will break loose. You shouldn't have
started in the first
now you are stopping. Why should you stop?
You see,
shouldn't stop.
One other thing too is that depending on the schedules of both people or everybody in the house, maybe you could have a plan that I'll cook today, you cook the other day.
Okay.
So, but it will get to a point in time, the lady or the wife wouldn't be able to come home on time or do her chores on time. Her in-laws will start complaining, why is it that today you didn't come and do this, you didn't do that, you didn't do this? And they'll be sitting reluctantly, doing nothing, and they'll start complaining about it, which is one thing I think is one of the disadvantages which we need to consider so much. But then, some in-laws are very helpful, as I stated, because even though your privacy sometimes isn't secured, you know that you'll be helped, you'll be assisted in whatever you do. So let's say I come to work, or I go to work and come back home late. I know my in-law is there who can cater for my husband on my behalf, or for the kids if they are kids. But if not, how are you going to manage that? And then the family or the in-laws will start complaining to other people that when the wife goes out, she doesn't come early, she's doing this, she's doing blah, blah. So you will never be happy at home, especially if you get those frustrating in-laws. And I think privacy is needed. So if privacy is needed, you should know how you relate with your in-laws and how you stay with them at home.
At home, right. Evans, I'll come to you again. You had an experience of living on your own with your wife, but going in to live with your mother. So obviously the dynamics had to change. What were some of the things that you had to compromise on when it came to privacy? I mean, and what were some of the issues that cropped up that your wife was unhappy about? If you'd be real with us and tell us. And also I would ask, in your opinion, what is the best way an in-law can live with a wife or a husband that has come into the family to live with them? Hello, Evans?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Hear me? All right. So as I said, we asked about challenges that we, encountered. It's enormous. It's a lot. Trust me, it's my mom, but sometimes you feel like, oh, is it the right decision that I even make? And also, as I think Emmanuel, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Emmanuel said, privacy is needed because sometimes we always say, oh, the first 2 years is still the honeymoon. But let me tell you, those years are the critical moments.
Right.
Because you don't really, especially like if you haven't dated for that long, even if you've dated for that long and you got married, it's just different ballgame. So then this first 2, 3 years becomes very critical because anything can trigger and someone will just pack the bags and just go back to where he or she came from. So then you need the privacy, you need to learn each other and potentially, adapt to certain situations. So that's the reason why I will personally say maybe it might not be advisable, to, invite any other person who can potentially, add to whatever tension which has already been there already. So you need to get to know each other and, potentially grow because, when years, pass by, then you become, complacent with whatever, that other
Right.
partner would do. And hey, it's okay. I mean, I know he's going to do that. So, I mean, I'm not really worried about that. Then you build in the family, then, you're growing, but the first year is very critical. And as I said, hey, my own mom, I'm like, he, well, she's really good. She's, taking care of the family, my kids. I'll come back and I'll feel happy. But at the same time, you feel like, oh, sometimes you really want to argue with maybe your wife. Like, sometimes you can't even argue. Why? Because you feel like your mom is gonna hear what's going on with, and she's probably gonna be like, "Oh, so maybe I told you." I'm not saying me though. It's there those are that just popped out. I told you maybe you shouldn't have gone there. So you really really want to do something, but you're still pulling back. So it's a lot. And one thing that I would just say, you need to compromise and need to make sure that you put everyone in his or her place. Uh, I'm saying this in the situation that a wife is a wife and mother is a mother. You
Right.
have to understand the role of a mother and you have to understand the role of a wife. So you need to have this discussion with the family. Sometimes it helps. Like I have, I'm like, oh my goodness, is it me that having this conversation because back when I came to the United States, I was what 24 years. I don't mind sharing my age now. I'm 36. You know, so I was like, I wasn't really thinking about even getting married, but now you see things has changed, and so you learn from stuff, and you have to. It's really important to sit down with the family, discuss stuff, and hey, you know, this is. I mean, you should know this your role. You should know this is how maybe probably you're supposed to treat my wife or you're supposed to treat my mom. That way, it really really helps. The
Yeah.
talk you have to. You're doing the real talk, so the talk you need to have that conversation, and it's really really helps.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. 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 As Evans clearly said, you need to have that conversation, know your role as a mother, as a sister, and as a wife. Unfortunately, I don't know what is happening to Christiana's network, but hopefully she gets it sorted out when we come back from the break so we can include her in the conversation. Do not go anywhere. This is Real Talk. We'll be right back after this break.
Hope Channel Ghana, in partnership with Donate Blood Save Life Foundation, National Blood Service, Ghana Adventist Health Service, and the Seventh-day Adventist Church presents the Blood Donation Drive.
I'll make a time and banya do manye. A year ke living watch and a can at a fine. Or we palo ya safu allo Seventh-day Adventist Church. A hala date ni the 28th November allo or ni ba na uchi. Ake akaba fe la jemo ke wa hilachamo he no yo ni Greater Accra allo ganshona upana no Waji asafo ni yo tema committee 6 ke Madina Central. Waji dodowa asafo ke Ashama Central. Odoko SDA ke Buwashi SDA Legon asafo ke Accra State Conference office wulu eni yo Greater Accra ke Prince Manu asafo ye Osu. Date 28th November aloho ni ba na ochi time living majine hu ka ashi shane majenyo ye wa don hani sanine ya hiambo ijake olemoni olano baje awa ye wa don.
The blood donation drive will be happening on the 28th of November 2020 from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the following venues: Buno Region, Sunyani SDA Hospital, Newtown SDA Church Sunyani, Penkwasi SDA Church, Greater Accra Region, Tema Community 6 SDA Church, Madina Central SDA Church, Dodowa SDA Church, Ashaman Central SDA Church, Odoko SDA Church, Bubuashe SDA Church, Legon SDA Church, Accra City Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Prince Emmanuel SDA Church, Asante Region, Kwadaso Adventist Hospital, Northern Region, Kaladan Seventh-day Adventist School premises. Donate blood and save a life. 28th November 2020 from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Hope Channel, changing lives.
Welcome back from that quick break. We are still in the studio, Real Talk, discussing a story that a young lady brought in. If you just joined us, she says she's been dating her boyfriend for 2 years. They are planning on getting married early next year. And so they are trying to put themselves together, get things ready. Luckily for them, he is completing an apartment or has completed an apartment, and was asking her if he could let his siblings come live with them in the other parts of the apartment. And she says, oh, well, they can live in the family house that you just renovated. I mean, as newly wedded married couples, we should enjoy privacy and each other. But he found it offensive because he felt, are you trying to cause some tension between my sisters and I? Why can't they live in that compound with us if we are getting married? And so she says it's creating a strain on the relationship, and they are going through a difficult time now. So she wants us to find some sort of solution so she and her boyfriend can get married peacefully and have a beautiful relationship with his family as well. We are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, Hope TV Ghana. You can join us and stream live with us, and you can join the conversation by leaving your comments in our comment section, which I will read as we discuss the story. Christiana, I don't know if you're back, I don't know if you can hear me, but we'll still, yes, welcome back, welcome back. I'll take your opinion on privacy in relationship, and if you think the girl ever said anything wrong. Was she wrong for obviously voicing her opinion and saying, I don't think I would want them to live with us?
Privacy in the family. I think that this situation is very dicey because I see two families, or probably a to-be family and an already existing family, struggling for power within the same scope. And I'm really thinking, there was the lady made mention of the fact that there's the opportunity to renovate another place for the family to live in.
Right,
am I right?
Renovated already.
Renovated, and yet that does not seem like an option. And so it makes me question the background of the gentleman himself and of the lady as well. I think a lot has been said about the positive influence that having the family around can bring, and the negative sides of it all. And I'm thinking, what is the legit reason this guy still insists that they should have the family around? Is it because the old house is too poor to house the siblings, or because he wants to make sure they bond well, or what? And my question is also, really, I'm doubting this whole thing because it looks like there's a hidden agenda somewhere. Don't you think so, Evie? Because if you genuinely love
I have
someone,
my opinion and all, but I want to hear yours.
Yeah. Okay, so I think there's a hidden agenda because my question is, we are forming a new family. Even if you want the lady to bond so well with your family, there's a way to go about it. It's not just about putting a bunch of people in the same house. That's not a family. A family goes beyond we all habit in one place. It goes beyond that. And so I'm really thinking that if there is the opportunity for the family to have a decent accommodation other than that house, then I would go for it.
Okay.
Notwithstanding, the manner to which the girl actually gave her views should also be relevant to this whole discussion. Did she say just because she wants to make herself comfortable, or she really thought about the family of the guy as well? Because this guy seems to be really strained to his family in a way that you cannot detach him. And to make him happy in this new marriage, you would need to compromise. If it is relevant that they will sit down and talk, both of them with the family, to see a way through it, I think that would work. And there's nothing wrong with sharing your views. Just how you do it matters. Thank you.
I couldn't have agreed with you any more or any less. Angela, I'll come to you and then I'll ask, why do you think he reacted that way? I mean, you went in to ask her, oh, I want, what do you, and she says, oh, I don't, is it that he was hoping for her to say, oh, yeah, let them come. I mean, we are going to be a family. What do you think, what can be the underlying cause for the reaction he had?
I can't wrap my mind around it because he wanted to know what she thought, and she gave an honest opinion. I think he should rather even value her the more, because she's not mincing words. Because it's important in a relationship for somebody to say what they actually feel or what they mean, instead of trying not to hurt feelings or anything. And there was absolutely nothing wrong with what she said. So like she's saying, there must be some hidden agenda, because it's so strange. You see, when I read the story, I was like, if there was no other option where they could live, because obviously if from the story she's saying that his sisters and their families, so which means they are married, or even if they are not married, they have kids. So they have, and there's another option. So if they are married, what are their men doing? That you have to provide accommodation for them. I mean, there are in situations that may warrant that, so let's not go in there. But what's the big deal? There's another option.
Maybe he wants to rent out the family house and make money.
Then he can equally move them, then rent the part of, because it looks like it's like an apartment block, so he's giving everybody one. Then he can equally rent out the new apartments and let them live in the old one. I mean, there's an option. If there was no option, I would have said that the lady is being unreasonable, because then it will look like the guy will have to spend more money to try and give his siblings accommodation. But there's an option. There's a real option that you actually renovated. So what is the problem here?
Okay.
There's no problem.
There's no problem.
That he's trying to make a big deal out of. Because I don't know how, if he's saying that she wants to destroy their relationship, I'm just thinking far, that it could be that he's already told them.
Or the sister, and they have agreed, and now he can't go back and go and say.
So then he's wrong to even come and say that, what do you think about them living with me?
Right.
Because I don't see how else is going to destroy their relationship if you've not told them already.
Emmanuel, I will come to you and then I'll ask, is he being considerate of her feelings? And if they are apartments and you're not going to share shared space, why is the girl also being difficult?
Well, I don't see it that way, because his reaction was because maybe he didn't understand the lady's point of view, because the lady just gave him an honest answer.
Right.
But then if the lady should have explained why she's giving that answer to the guy, I think the guy would have been a bit okay, because just coming out to conclude that no, let them just go to the family house which we've renovated. I think that was why the guy also felt the lady wanted to ruin the relationship he has with his siblings. Okay. Just as she said, there could be there's another choice, and then there could be another reason why maybe he wants them to come, and then he has already promised his siblings that, oh, as I'm building a new house, I'll let you join me. So there was no reason going to ask the wife again. But then since you've gone to ask the wife, he should have also had a second thought that my wife is saying this, or my incoming wife is saying this, and this is what I've also decided on. So they could have even deliberated on it further rather than taking personal stance instantly. And that is why they are also having challenges. So they should have even asked themselves, why are you saying this? Why am I also saying this? And this is my reason for saying this, and this is why I want them to join, or this is why I don't want them to join. I think it would have solved their problem so much.
Okay, I have comments coming in that I want to read before we continue with the discussion. This one is from David Techi Kwame. He says, most times when we are asking, we seek approval rather than an opinion. Okay, so you're saying we seek approval rather than an opinion. That's a mistake we all do and must grow out of it. Emebeth na Yemoko Anan says, based on experience, I have been against living in family houses from childhood. Goodness, the drama can choke you. So no poking. Well, sometimes because they are fun times too. Okay, so sometimes they are fun times too. I don't think it was wrong for the lady to express her honest opinion on this. These are some of the petty things we tend to overlook before tying the knot. She should be glad he brought it up himself and try and trash it out with their marriage counselor, as I believe they are still in the process. My dear future somebody should please take notes. Good evening. Okay, now we have heard you, and your future somebody, I'm thinking, has heard you as well. Nanaya Frema says, I will advise never stay with your in-law, especially in a family house. Okay. Emmanuel Rurangwa, I hope I didn't butcher your name, says, thanks for the program, it is interesting. Thank you for watching. Satina says, Satina, hi, you always leave a message on this channel, and I have Charlie girl. Thank you. She says, in-laws can be very troublesome at times. You can come and visit, but even that shouldn't be for a long period. Thank God I have wonderful in-laws. Satina, I'm happy you have wonderful in-laws. This one's from Rosemary Bamford. Rosemary says, never commit yourself by staying with them. Please advise yourself now. Ras Ambitious says, if it's your family, would you have rejected the idea? It's good that you flip it so she thinks about it. Kuma says, honest reply, but there's nothing wrong about staying with your in-laws. Please, I know what I am saying. I have been married for 27 years and I am okay. Okay. Vivian says, maybe the guy wanted to test her. The guy should know that not staying with your in-laws doesn't mean that she doesn't need them. Okay. Sarah Ejakua says, staying with in-laws is a no-no. Hey, no matter how much they love you, one day they will turn you into a punching bag and made for that matter. Boy, don't try it though. It's better to live in a single room with or without punches than to live with in-laws. Okay, Sawa Akoto, Evan Sawa Akoto says, I see you. Arthur Bright says that is really the best of replies. An honest woman can give her man in such an instance. In-laws are intruders in marital affairs. The man should not be offended by a response if there's no hidden agenda. Okay. So as you can see, a lot of people are not in for the staying with the in-laws, because Grace is saying that sometimes in-laws are very difficult and it is not good for partners to live with in-laws in the house. So a lot of people are not for the ideas of staying with in-laws. I wonder what their experiences have been. Christina, I'll come to you again and then I'll ask you, so in this instance, how, if the in-laws come and stay, how would you advise they act? And then your final words to the girl, what she should do when it comes to having the conversation with her boyfriend, if he is adamant as to why he wants his sisters to come and live with them or in the same compound?
Okay, so my last words and my advice. I think that right now, you have this situation, you need to deal with it. And the best way to go through every situation is to talk and pray through it. It might seem very physical to us, but these are all things that usually happen, misunderstandings and arguments, usually before marriage. And this could actually break this whole relationship they have. They should talk through it. I want the guy to know that there's a reason why in Genesis it is said that man shall leave the mother and the father. There's a very good reason.
Right.
Yes, there's a good reason. And so you should know that you are making a new family, and in that you have to make some sacrifices of a sort. Not as in detaching yourself from the family, but also prioritizing your new family. The lady should compromise, because this might just be a clear case of he wanting to know if the lady is willing to take him and the family as a whole.
Right.
My advice, talk through it and think about your new family first and not to win the argument. That's my advice.
Okay. Hopefully she takes it, because I think it's an amazing advice. Evans, I'll come to you and then I'll ask, as a man, do you think that the guy was very inconsiderate and dismissive of the lady's honest opinion? And then your final words to the lady and the guy, how, moving forward, how should they go about this situation? Because like everybody has said, it's very dicey. We do not want word to get to the guy's family for them to think that the girl is, hey, this one, when she gets married to her brother, she will even prevent him from giving us small money to take care of ourselves. That is not what we want to go out there. So please, your opinion on that.
Yeah, so when I was reading the story, I was actually also asking myself, did they actually pull resources together to, build that house? It could be that it may be probably even the sisters actually even helped the guy to build the house.
Right.
See? So so I heard that, everyone saying a hidden agenda. It could be one of the hidden agendas, and then you're done with the house. Now you don't even want me to even taste it or even to live in and enjoy how the house is, and And I also learned the house is a detached. It's not really like, someone will be poking on my nose, right? Yes. So although it might be in a compound, but it's kind of detached. So on that level too, then probably it's not that great, but it will give you some form of privacy, I think. And this is just my imagination, So then let me come back to compromise. I heard Christine saying about talking about compromise, and it is one thing that when you young person and you trying to get married or something, you should be learning somehow how to compromise, because at the end of the day you guys are coming from different backgrounds, and it's not the same. It's never gonna be the same. Like, you somewhere else and someone is coming from somewhere else, and you all coming together to join hands and live together and build your family. So there might be differences.
Exactly.
So then what do you do to make sure that you are all in probably the same level, or maybe trying to catch up? You have to compromise. You need to compromise. And sometimes also it depends on the situation. Like, look at me, the story that I just shared about myself. When you live in the United States and you have to go to work in New York City, you live in New Jersey, and your wife is probably going to work somewhere else, and you don't have anyone to take care of your kids, then probably you'll be thinking about even going to even hire someone to come in. Then if your mom comes, you even sing hallelujah and praise God that she is even living with you. So then it comes back to individual situations. So hey, the guy being inconsiderate, well, I don't know. maybe there is a hidden agenda, as you know, we all saying, there might be someone pulling the resource together.
Right.
And now you don't want me to enjoy it. That's not going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, I think I will leave it here for the other panelists to also speak.
Okay. Angela, I come to you and I ask, what are your final words? What do you think, moving forward, this girl should say to the man, how he should handle the situation and how the family should understand the situation? Final words.
I don't think that this should be what should break this relationship at all. And there are bigger quarrels or fights that will come their way. This shouldn't be one of it. I think it's a case of misunderstanding. They both don't understand each other's words, and they didn't take time, like he said, they didn't take time to really understand why this other person wants it this way and that way. So they need to talk. And my advice to her, you see, your in-laws liking you or not liking you, it's not in marriage that you find out. It's before marriage.
Okay.
What you know, if they like you, they are actually happy for the relation. You can see it and how they treat you. There are some people who may not tell you to your face, but the way they behave towards you, I mean, they are not open. So if that is not the case, then I don't think she has a problem. Because if they don't like you from the beginning, you know, and then maybe it warrants you not wanting to live with them or even going ahead with the marriage in the first place, depending on how severe it is. But then she should, because they are not sharing, I think that she should be able to compromise. I mean, even if she still wants the other option of the family house, they should sit and talk. They're not talking, it's not going to solve, because this is how they're going to be like in marriage. They should be able to sit and talk. She should call him. They should meet up. She should go to him, sit down. It's just a case of misunderstanding each other's words. And just open up and see. She may see what the other guy wants. She may also have a genuine reason and some experience why she doesn't want this. But they should talk about it, because their marriage is just, they shouldn't even think of this, not talking to each other is not going to, unless she wants to leave. But as long as she doesn't want to, they should just sit and talk. Go to him and talk about it.
Right. Emmanuel, shortly, what should she do? And then tell us the surprise you have for us quickly at times.
Right. I'll side with Angela that they shouldn't break up their relationship. And I feel, as we all feel there might be a hidden agenda, I think the lady should try and get in touch with the guy and ask the guy the reasons why he wants them to come and stay. The lady should also give her reasons why she doesn't want them to stay, and probably try to convince the guy for him to side with her. So I think that is the advice I'll give to the lady.
Okay.
And the surprise is that Inspirational Chorale Ghana will be hosting a Faith of Our Fathers event coming Saturday at Nungwa North SDA Church at 3 p.m. So I think that is the greatest surprise which we all have to know.
And that's 28th November?
28th November, coming Saturday.
Okay.
So we all need to make time and be there.
Okay, so we have to be at the venue. Okay.
We'll be streaming live also on our Facebook and YouTube channel. So
what is the social media?
Inspirational Chorale GH.
Inspirational Chorale GH. And you said the venue was at?
Nungwa North SDA Church.
Nungwa North SDA Church. 3 p.m., right?
Yeah, 3 p.m.
Okay, so those close to Nungwa, those far, 3 p.m. Saturday, it's a date with Nungwa. Inspirational Chorale GH or Ghana. Yes. So quickly, Evans, you have been out for a while. You said you went to the States at 24, and you said you're 36. Something you've been there for like 10 years or a little over. any warm greetings to anybody in Ghana or even in the States, your wife, your mother, your kids? Quickly, please say your shout outs so that we can close.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to actually greet people. I think my first greetings will go to you guys all, for allowing me to come on the show. And sorry, I forgot. I think Matthew. Yeah, Matthew actually reached out to me, and that was great as well. And also, I greet all my friends in Ghana and my family. I mean, my mom is here, so I mean, she's probably not watching anyway. But I mean, I greet her, and also my church, Ebenezer Ghana Seventh-day Adventist in New Jersey, and also NAGSTA, all NAGSTA, members in North America here. I greet everyone.
Okay.
And
okay.
NAGSTA president.
Oh, right. Thank you. And we are honored to have you on the show. Christina, if you can hear me, quickly, who do you say hi to?
Hi to all Americans.
Really?
Agape SDH, all my friends. Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you. I am grateful for having you. Anyele, you say hi to your husband. That's what you say hi to.
So, Yao. I say hello to Yao. And Wafake, he's always watching, and I never mentioned his name. So today, and then my brother-in-law, Nana.
Okay.
Say hi, and everybody else. James.
I think, James, you know yourself.
Yeah.
Yes. So you say hi to Inspirational
Chorale. And my mom is watching live.
Okay.
My siblings.
Okay.
They are also watching, and Dr. Sablo.
Yes. Doctor, I say hi to you. I always say hi. I have to say hi to you. You are amazing. You're a great support. Thank you. I say thank you to Shades and Glow for my makeup and my studio guests' makeup as well. I say a big thank you to my crew. You guys are amazing. Where would Real Talk be without you? All of you. I can't start mentioning it. When I start, I won't be able to finish. And then I say thank you to my amazing viewers and audience out there all over the world. You guys keep tuning in, you keep watching us, you keep welcoming us into your home. We are so thankful for you. Young lady who sent her story, we are thankful for you. I pray you find a solution and hopefully have a beautiful marriage and a great relationship with your in-laws. This is just a little issue. Talk about it. If you can compromise. If you think it's something you cannot do, you have to let your man know, then take on something you along the way have issues and resentments. Thank you guys so much for watching Real Talk. Will come your way same time next week right here in the studios of Hope TV. Continue to watch all our other content. We have amazing programs coming your way this week, next week, and forever, if I should say. My name is Evie, and I'll be back same time next week. Have a good evening.